Oh gosh, this is going to be horrible.
Yeah, this is terrible. I don't know who came up with this stupid idea.
What's happening, party people? Welcome to Punchboard Party. My name is Daniel. This is Father Greg, and we're having a little fun again.
Right.
We're just going to do a fun little video. A buddy of mine uses this board game survey. He teaches psychology of games class.
Wow.
He uses this just to kind of warm people up to the idea of gaming and this kind of thing. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go through this. So this is from Quantic Foundry. Board Games Motivation Profile. So this is going to tell us what kind of board game player we are.
Okay.
So we're going to go through this survey with you, party people. We're just going to answer the questions, and then we're going to share our results with you as we do this.
Cheer for color commentary.
Yeah, careful with the color. Come on now. So first off, what is your gender? So male. Just male. We're males.
Oh, your age?
What did you say?
I said my age.
Yeah, don't leave these people hanging.
I'm 37.
Oh, nice. I'm 34.
Youngin.
in the past 6 months, how often did you play board games? Multiple times a week, I think.
Probably. Yeah. It's probably accurate. I mean, at least once a week.
Yes, but for me, I usually have guys over like either a Friday or a Saturday, and then you come over on a Monday or a Sunday. So, which of the following people do you regularly play board games with? Friends, family, or strangers? So I say friends and family. I'm not often playing games with strangers.
Yeah.
You played games with strangers tonight.
I did, but yes, most of the time it's going to be friends. I mean, maybe the occasional game with family.
Yeah.
But mostly friends.
Okay, roughly how many board games do you own?
Hold on, give me a second.
Yeah, I don't know exactly, but I think for me it's about 125.
Good for you. That's swell. That's lovely. Give me just 1 second here. I have 269 board games.
You own 269 board games?
And that's what Board Game Geek says, so it can't be wrong.
I call so much.
Yeah, like I do need to call some games, but yeah,
that's there's tons of people like that. A lot of our party people probably have way more games than that.
Wow. Yeah,
but
it's too many.
Over 200. That's a lot. What's your preference in terms of the number of players for a board game? I say 3 to 4.
Okay, I'm going to say 2 players.
That's your preference.
Yeah.
See, I find that a lot of games play fine with 2, but they play better with more. And so, I'd rather have that 3 to 4.
Okay. I think in terms of most of the games that I play are often 2-player.
What's your preference in terms of typical duration of board game? So I think my preference is 1 to 2 hours.
I think that's about right. I think, if I'm talking about the actual length of a board game as opposed to its published length.
Yes.
If a game says 45 minutes, I'm cool with that because that game is going to take an hour.
Yeah.
1 to 2 hours, sure.
Have you ever contributed to a board game on Kickstarter or Indiegogo or now GameFound, I guess?
Yeah, there's an option that says yes, more than 10 games. Yep, more than 10.
So I'm yes, 1 or 2. I've only Kickstarted 1 game.
Wow.
It was a little card game, Romeo and Juliet.
That's the card game you kickstarted.
Council of Verona.
Council of Verona.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice little game, really.
Wow.
Okay, what are some of your favorite board games? So we get to kind of
should be easy.
So I put in Dune Imperium, It's a Wonderful World, and Dogs of War are the ones that I've chosen to put in here.
Oh.
Because it just say some of your favorite. So I didn't, these are still all my top 5.
All right, sure. I have to find out where Village is. So Village, Gugong, and Concordia.
Okay.
That's what we're doing.
That's sweet. Okay, next is going to be, what are some board games that you've enjoyed playing recently? And so I put Lorenzo El Magnifico, Cyclades, and Port Royal.
Wow. Okay, you're ahead of the game on me on this one.
Well, I did this earlier today to just test out how it would work, and so it saved all my answers.
Right, sure, okay. Got it, super. That's great. What? I said Village, but I mean, that's... Okay, I'll put 1754, French Indian War. That was fun. And I'll put Newton. was also enjoyable this month. Simone Luciani, yep. And game 3, what else did I have fun? Let's put Cryptid. Cryptid's been pretty high on my...
Okay, so now for the next section, how important are the following game elements to you when you play a board game? Simply having a good time in the company of others.
Well, mine says the game has a strong, rich theme. Unless maybe I just clicked on something.
Oh. Okay, so we might not go in order? Dominating other players is my next one.
No. Okay, mine says the game has a strong, rich theme. I do consider a theme important. I would say I might put very important. Not like it's not all I can get into Gone Shong Clever. For me, like you present me with a theme of this game, fine. But generally speaking, if the game has a theme, I'm attracted to it. Now I have simply having a good time in the company of others.
Okay, yeah. So you answer that. So for me, I said it was very important.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. I mean, pretty much the reason we do board gaming, I guess.
That's right. And then my next one, it says dominating other players. And I said not important at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not important at all.
No. Not dominating other players. Like I have a healthy sense of competition, but I'm not...
But if you lose a game, you don't feel bad at the end of it?
No.
And I know some people who definitely if they lose a game, it goes down on their rankings.
Yeah, so it has an effect. But it's definitely not it's very easy for me to get over, and I'm cheering for everyone. I'm hoping that everyone's having a good time. Right. So
cool.
I'm happy when other people do well.
Mine says being known as a highly skilled player, and I don't care that people know me as a highly skilled player. I want to win, but
right.
It's I would say not at all important that I.
My next one here, it says taking on a believable role in a coherent thematic setting. And I said not at all important to me. I don't want to take on a role. You like this more than I do.
Yeah, for sure. Mine says the game takes place in a highly detailed world or setting. I think, world creation, that's an interesting thing. I do enjoy the games that, create something of a world, sort of Gloomhaven, or even a Above and Below, or something that kind of creates an alternate world. So I'll say somewhat important.
My next one says the game's theme setting is strongly reflected in the art and design of its components. So that's very important. I really just want that. I want it to look good. I want the game to look good. I want to be able to feel like I am I want to be reminded of what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, mine says now dominating other players, and I will say it's slightly important.
Slightly important to dominate.
Not important.
Maybe the word dominate just threw me off. I don't know.
I just I want to, I do want to win. I want to,
I want to win.
Yeah, who doesn't want to win?
And now I have the game has a strong, rich theme, and I said somewhat important. Yeah, I think it's somewhat important to me that a game has a strong, rich theme, but it's not necessary.
Cool. Yeah, now I have spending time with others doing something we enjoy together, which I think is very important for me.
Winning. I have somewhat important. So it factors in for sure, but it's not...
Right.
Top of the list for me.
I have the game board and components are beautifully illustrated. So illustration, I guess, is an interesting kind of thing. But I do like a good looking board. So I'll say somewhat important. I think there's other things that are more important artistically, but the artistic, the visual paint or sketch or whatever is written on the board of the cards is somewhat important.
Yeah. Now I have the game takes place in a highly detailed world or setting, and I say somewhat important for that. I think, that's cool. That's neat. I like that for sure.
It's easy to teach someone how to play the game. Oh man, that's a tough one. I think I do like games that are easy to teach.
Yeah.
Even if it's a complicated game, if I feel like I can make it through the rules and the rules make sense, I'm going to like it more than a game that just has cumbersome rules. So I will say, I'm going to say it's at least somewhat important. It's almost very important for me.
Okay, the game immerses you in another world or place. And so while I like that a lot, it's not necessarily very important to me that happens. But it's I enjoy it. So I'm still tempted to say somewhat important.
Cool. I have the very same question, and I'm going to say very important.
Okay.
I like being immersed. My next one says winning, and I mean, winning or dominating other players, I mean, I'll take them to be the same thing. So I'll say, it's slightly important.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
The game is accessible to people with very little board gaming experience. And I said somewhat important. I think that's good. But you know what? As I'm thinking about it, maybe it's very important to me.
Mine says the game has amazing artwork. So this would be, so I think this for me is more important. That if like the cards look really nice, if like the board, like whatever, if there's a boring like scoreboard in the middle, I can deal with that. But if like what I'm holding in my hand has like really beautiful artwork, for me that's more important.
The game world has elaborate history, lore, characters, and so that's just slightly important to me. I'm not,
Yeah.
It's nice, but
Cool. Mine says the game is very approachable and easy to learn. Man, like this is tough. Like because like I do like a game that's easy to learn, but I also play some really like beefy games that I like to get into. So I'm gonna say slightly important.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird one, but yeah.
The game has amazing artwork, and so very important for me. Very important.
The game has a great deal of strategic depth and complexity. I don't like this question because I think those are two different things.
Yes.
So I don't like a game with like a high degree of complexity, but I love a game with a lot of strategic depth.
So I say I have this question here, and I'm saying very important.
Okay.
Because I am weighting it towards the strategic depth.
I'm even if I say strategic depth, just because like I do enjoy a game like 1754, I'm just gonna say somewhat important.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now I have the game board and components are beautifully illustrated, and that's very important to me.
Cool. I have taking on a believable role in a coherent thematic setting, and I do like taking on a role, so I'll say it's at least somewhat important.
Spending time with others, doing something we enjoy together. Didn't we already do this?
I think they were slightly worded differently. But
okay, but very important.
This one says the game allows you to formulate and execute a long-term strategy. So I like games that give me like a little like card in the beginning. It's like, hey, your guy's really good at collecting wood. So I'm like, sweet, this game's going to be all about, I'm just going to go down the wood strategy. I'm going to go to the forest all day long and just do that. But I also like a game that kind of forces me to like change course halfway through. And so I would say somewhat important.
Trying out new games to stay up to date, I say it's somewhat important. I mean, it's important in the sense that I like having new content for the channel, but I've really liked where we've landed on the channel, where we just play what we want, what's coming up, and then we have a video that just talks about all that stuff. And I don't feel the pressure to like need to be playing games aside from a series that we've kind of left in the dust for a while.
Right.
But by and large, I think it's somewhat important because it is fun. It's fun to play the new stuff that's happening and to kind of be on that. But I'm really enjoying kind of what we're doing now of just playing good games regardless of when they come out.
Mine says being part of a like-minded community of gamers. That's an interesting one. If they mean like-minded in that I want gamers who all appreciate the same type of games as I do, that's not really important at all. If they're talking about like politics or something, like if they're talking about like a like-minded like people who just agree on everything, I don't think that's important to me at all either.
No.
I mean, generally speaking, I like board games because if you do have somebody like maybe like an uncle or something that you can't stand, like maybe you can get together over a board game,
right?
And so like maybe if you're not like-minded, that's fine.
Well, I think it sounds more to me just like-minded in the sense that you like spending all your time playing board games.
I guess I'm going to say not at all important.
Yeah, okay.
I'll see what happens.
It's easy to teach someone how to play the game, and that's very important to me because I find that the game comes off the shelf easier if that's a factor of the game. If I can teach it easily, if I can remember it easily, that kind of thing, I'm more likely to get to the table more often. So I'm going to play games like Curse Court, and even Strasbourg has that flavor where it's like the rule set isn't high. The complexity comes in the strategy.
Right. Cool. Mine says the game's theme setting is strongly reflected in the art and design of its components. I do like really good components. For me, that's more important than art. So I will say very important.
Interesting. The game allows you to formulate and execute long-term strategy. That's somewhat important for me.
Yeah, trying out new games to stay up to date. That used to be something important. That's probably why I have 269 games. Because I was always just like, I need to buy the next new thing. But I will say slightly important for me now.
Right.
It's much less important.
The game is very approachable and easy to learn. I said that's very important. So very similar reasons to why I like games that are easy to teach. But then being easy to learn makes them easier to teach.
Right. The game world has elaborate history, lore, characters. I think you hear this low, but
Yeah.
oh man, if a game has like really good, like a good story that I can get into, I really do enjoy that. It's not important in every game, but when it happens, I really do enjoy it. So I might say very important.
Wow.
Ah, man, yeah.
We haven't done any extremely important yet.
I know. I've done one not at all, but yeah.
So here's one for me. So this is being known as a highly skilled player is not at all important to me.
Wow. Daniel here is awful at board games. This guy sucks.
Well, I am. That's just like I'm not like.
Hey, he doesn't even care. See, look at him. He's just like
every now and then.
That's right.
I have a good play and I do well. Like I won Cyclades here recently, but yeah, it's not why I play games. I play games to discover new mechanisms and new puzzles, and that's what I'm into it for.
Yeah, it says the game is accessible to people with very little board gaming experience. This is another tough one. Like some games that I have, I really want that to be the case. So for some games, it's extremely important.
Right.
But not every game in my collection am I thinking, oh, am I going to be able to teach this with somebody who's never played a board game before?
Right.
So, like, somewhat, I guess.
Are you on to the next section?
Yes.
Okay. For the next section, how much do you like or dislike the following kinds of board games or game elements? Okay. Playing mind games with other players.
Okay.
What was yours? Is yours that?
No.
No, okay. So yeah, so it's neutral for me. I think it's fun when other people are doing it, but I'm not necessarily inclined to do it myself.
Right.
So it's not that I hate it or dislike it. I'm just like, that's great, like have fun, but it's just not my particular foray.
Right.
I'm not good at it, so I just don't do it.
Right. Mine says cooperative games where players have to help each other. And they give two options, hate or dislike. And I mean, I'll say dislike. I don't hate, like, not every cooperative game is miserable, but as a general thing,
It's funny how these come in different orders for us.
Right.
The same question.
But it's funny.
Fun. Games that are cognitively challenging to play, I love. That's a no-brainer for me.
Mine says games that involve bluffing or deception.
You like this
Oh,
stuff?
I do. Like, one of my favorite games is, like, The Resistance. And there's just something satisfying about bluffing somewhat, about, like, oh, yeah. Yeah, I might put love.
Yeah,
Like,
good.
Yeah.
High conflict mechanics that let players attack and interfere with each other's resources and units. And so this one was tough for me because I like this, although it is incredibly infuriating if you're on the other end of it, but I do love the moments and the memories that this creates. And so I was tempted to say neutral because it was like, it's good and bad, but like I'm glad it's there. But it's like, because of the moments, I have to say I like this.
After that point salad game, you better say you like this. I saw joy on your face as you took my cabbage. That was just straight up rude.
That's right.
Oh my gosh. Games that require a lot of thinking and planning. I do have some very heavy board games. And so I obviously like enjoy this, but that's not ultimately like what I get out of a game. Like, I think the game, I want some other experience beyond just like the thinking and planning of the game.
Right.
Like if it's a thinking and planning game that draws me into a story, if it's a thinking and planning game that does have this moment of like take that, or that does have this moment of deception, but like just a game that just like rewards you for being like really intelligent. Man, I'll say I like it. It's definitely not a love though.
A gameplay where you have to persuade or convince other players of something. And I dislike this. I don't like having to do that. And like negotiation games, it gives me kind of... There's some negotiation games I do like. Yeah, I definitely shrink into the background when other players who are better at this are doing it better. And
right.
It's just not my strong suit, and I don't like it particularly. I don't like having to do that.
Cyclades, I'm like, you need to attack Daniel.
Yeah. See, I like to just wait and see if people notice.
Yeah.
I like that. And they don't. And I win.
Gameplay that depends a lot on luck and chance. I don't have any problem with this. Like I say, I played 1754, like a war game. you're rolling dice. And I mean, yeah, it's of course luck and chance.
Yeah.
But it's still a good game. So at least a like.
Loud, boisterous, party-style games. I'm neutral on this. I mean, I have a lot of fun when those things are happening, but I'm also not seeking them out. Right? It's not my preference to go and play a party game like this. I'll laugh boisterously playing a Euro game.
That's right.
but I also have a lot of fun when it's happening. So
yeah, game mechanics that allow hostile, confrontational player interactions. I love these games.
Wow.
I do. I mean,
heart around that.
Sometimes they can be rough, of course. Yes, when you steal my cabbage, I'm angry. But
That's right.
I find a great example of this is the Manhattan Project.
Yes.
Like, I hate this game, but I also love it.
Yeah.
Like,
for sure.
It's oh man, I hate when it happens to me, but it brings
it's cool
such
that it's there and
strong emotions for the game in my heart.
Yeah, and there's also a richness to the layers of strategy. Like, look at the Manhattan Project. If you're firing on all cylinders, like if you're playing toe to toe in all the different strategies that game brings out, like playing this game where people just aren't interested in bombing one another, it's just missing something.
Right.
When you're playing with all of it, and you have to be like, oh, my buildings are now, I can't use this. Like, really good. The chatting and social interaction around playing board games.
Ooh, interesting.
And I like this. I like the in and out. I love when people do find little pockets. I'm not as interested in engaging in conversation in depth around board. Like,
right.
I'm more focused on my turns and things like this, but I'm not mad about it when it's happening. And I enjoy it. I enjoy the people are... Because that's one thing about why people kind of laud board games now, is that they get us around the table, they get us talking. And I've played enough board games that we're still just into our thing, that we just don't talk. So I like that when that happens, that we're getting to know each other.
Yeah, mine says games that are primarily about lighthearted fun and laughter. And I love that. I mean, and now that's not to say like that's like necessarily a party game for me. Like I've laughed in Village. Like I've had great moments even in a Euro game. I can find moments of fun and laughter.
Yeah.
But having fun and laughter in a game is like, isn't that our motto or something?
Yeah, the love and joy of board games.
Yeah, man. Something like that. Yeah.
Gameplay that depends a lot on luck and chance. I like this. I have no shame around because again like depends on, like it's intentional.
Right.
Like there's some games that's like this is just too lucky, too swingy, whatever. And even that I have a wide threshold for.
Right. So yeah, you said you like chatting and social interaction. I'm going to say I dislike this. So I like being together with friends, but like if you're talking about something like unrelated to board game for a little bit, fine. But eventually I'm going to be like, all right.
Yeah.
We're done with this.
Cut the crap.
We're done with this.
Game mechanics that allow hostile, confrontational player interactions. And for whatever reason, I'm more inclined to say that I love this rather than like it. Just the more aggressive it's stated, it's like, know, it's just a ton of fun to see this happen. Right. And
wow, I didn't think you were going to put love. Cool. Playing mind games with other players. I will say I at least like this. Yeah, it's at least a like. I mean, something satisfying about that.
Co-op games where players have to help each other. I dislike this. Cool. I dislike cooperative games.
We're just a bunch of meanies. We love games that involve aggression and dominating other players.
Just fun.
And we dislike cooperation. Great.
That's right.
Yeah, competing against other players. I enjoy competing against other players. I don't need to win, but I enjoy the competition.
Yeah, so gameplay that involves bluffing or deception. I do like this.
High conflict mechanics that let players attack and interfere with each other's resources and units. Ooh, this is a little bit of like we're talking about like I'm stealing something from you. Like there's a difference between like I don't know, Dr. Lucky where I'm just like playing a card that like takes that on you, but like if I'm stealing something from you. I'll say neutral. I don't mind games where like we're like at war with each other. But like when I'm just like your units are dead.
Right.
Like That hurts me. That
Interesting.
pays for you if you're just like stealing my resources or nonsense like that.
Interesting. Okay. Games where all player interactions are non-confrontational, and this is going to sound hypocritical, but I also love this. I love games where you're just a multiplayer solitaire. People complain about this all the time. I love this. Mm-hmm. The only time it got a bit much was Hadrian's Wall, where I was like, I feel too alone.
That's right.
But no, I love just, we're doing a similar puzzle. We're trying to figure out who's doing it best.
Chance mechanics that determine the options you have. Example, drawing your hand from a deck. I like that very much.
Yeah, so I have the same question right now, and I'm saying love.
Cool.
I love it.
Mine says gameplay that involves negotiating or bargaining with other players. Yeah, I mean, I'll say neutral. Yeah, I guess I don't really have a dislike for bargaining, but
okay. So gameplay where players can backstab or betray each other. I still like it. Having that option available is fun. Yeah. Again, like as long as it's in the rules, like as long as it's like there, or expected or presumed.
Right. Games where all player interactions are non-confrontational. Yeah, I'll say like too.
Games that are primarily about light-hearted fun and laughter. I love this.
And yeah, gameplay where players can backstab or betray each other. I like it as well.
And competing against other players, I love. That's what really that's what excites me about games. I don't want to this is the thing though. I don't want to win. Mm-hmm. Like I don't care about winning, but like the competition is fun. Like a game is way more fun when I am comparing myself to you and when I'm trying to like stay in or surpass where you're at.
Right.
That's what makes the game for me.
For sure. Yes, that's what I prefer to a cooperative game is that human benchmark. Games that are cognitively challenging to play. Like say, this is like I like a good intellectual challenge, but I don't want my brains oozing out of my skull. So I don't know, I'll say neutral.
Games that require a lot of thinking and planning, I love this.
Loud, boisterous, party-style games, I enjoy them.
I think this is also reflecting just like our rating style.
Right.
I'm much more liberal with my loves.
Sometimes I have a few loves, but yeah.
Okay, are you in the next section yet?
No.
Okay.
Chance mechanics that determine the outcome of actions. Example, rolling dice to resolve combat. I'll say neutral. Now I'm in the next section.
Okay, so it's how often do you do the following things?
Okay. How often do I take the time to learn about new game systems and mechanics? How long do I take to learn about them? Rarely.
Okay, so I have take the time to learn about games designer or publisher.
I have that one as well.
And often. But what I mean by that is like, what other things have they designed, and what do they do? What are they known for? That kind of stuff. I'm not necessarily going in for like, although we looked up Rudiger Doran's place of birth tonight.
That's right.
So yeah.
Yeah, I think if I really enjoy a game, I want to find out what else has this guy made.
Yes.
So I'll say sometimes.
And so then take the time to learn about new game systems and mechanics all the time.
Now I'm in another section.
Yeah.
Okay.
How much do you enjoy the following kinds of board games or game elements? Games that elicit lots of silly, funny interactions between players. And I said, enjoy somewhat.
Yeah,
I'm not opposed to it, but I'm not looking for that.
I have that exact same question, so that's good.
Working together with other players as a team, I enjoy it a little. But barely.
Right.
But it's like I'm playing a game.
Right.
So I'm happy.
Right. Yeah, mine says games where players have to cooperate to achieve a common goal. Yeah, I'll say enjoy a little.
So I have that one too, and I have enjoy a little as well.
And now I have working together with other players as a team. I think I enjoy cooperating with other players more than working as a team. Like if you tell me I'm on a team with you, I'm probably going to hurt you by the end of the day. So I'm going to say not at all.
Not a team player. Not a team player.
Like if we're like even partially cooperative games or something, I can get behind that.
Yeah.
We're working together for some sort of common objective, but we're all on our own individual team still.
How much do you like or dislike the following theme settings for board games? So futuristic sci-fi, I like.
Mine says horror. I think of very few games that I have that have really maybe Vengeance, but that's about it.
Right.
So I will say that I'll just say I hate it. I don't really have any games that are actively disgusting.
Right, interesting. So Pirates, and I was like, I love Pirates, which is really funny.
It is a funny thing to love.
Yeah,
that's funny. Mine says Steampunk, which I'm not even really sure entirely what steampunk is. Like, I know what it is. I have a few games that are steampunk, so I will say that I like steampunk.
Right.
I enjoy it.
High fantasy is neutral to me. I'm not really going out of my way. Sci-fi draws me in a little more.
Okay. This is agriculture farming. I'll say I like. I there's something about if you tell me like I'm just building a farm or something, I'm like, okay, cool.
Pastoral.
Yeah.
Horror, and I like. So my brain went into like Arkham Horror,
Right.
Elders, or like this kind of theme.
Right.
And I really like that stuff. I think it's cool.
This one says modern cities or infrastructure. I do really love a city building game, so I might say love to this.
Oh,
I think
interesting.
games where like I'm planning out like a little city or like even like a civilization or something like that. Yeah, street building, like path building games.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
when that comes up for me, it's going to be a different story.
Okay.
Steampunk, I love steampunk, and I don't think there's enough games that have. This is the problem with steampunk for me, is that there's quite a few games that have a steampunk theme, but they weren't very good games, or they weren't really highly rated. So I didn't pull the trigger on getting them. But when I find a good steampunk game, I'm going to be very excited.
Cool. Historical, medieval, or Renaissance. I will say that I do like this. Like royals. I would say definitely a like.
Yeah, so for agriculture and farming, I'm actually putting love. I just feel so comforted by these themes of just, going out,
Right.
planting some crops. I'm not good at these games like these. I'm thinking Uwe Rosenberg here, and I'm like, I suck at the actual doing, but like very invited to the table, and then pounded. My face gets pounded into the table. But,
Yeah, I'm not thinking like Uwe Rosenberg. I think it's like Fields of Green or like,
Yeah.
it's other games, Lowlands or whatever. But mine says high fantasy, and I do love high fantasy. I think, you put elves on the front of a cover and dwarves. I'm like, oh, sure. Let's do it.
Getting a hot for elves.
That's not.
Historical
weird.
medieval Renaissance. Love. I love it.
Okay.
I love it. You can't hold me back.
Okay.
Can't hold me back.
Pirates. I have no thoughts on pirates. I don't dislike them.
Yeah.
I don't know. Neutral, I guess.
Yeah. So the more I think about modern cities and infrastructure, when I was doing it today, I said neutral, but I think I dislike it.
Wow.
Yeah.
World War I and World War II. It's interesting it doesn't say just like war.
Right.
Like, I think I'll say like. I do enjoy Undaunted. Thank you. Yep, I enjoy Undaunted.
Zombie apocalypse, I dislike. I don't like zombie apocalypse themes too much. This is where that gross factor comes in.
Right.
That I'm not super into.
Yeah. Mine says futuristic sci-fi, and I probably dislike it. I maybe dislike is a strong word, but I have very few games that actually fit into this theme, and so I don't dislike it, but I have no. It doesn't draw me in. If I see a spaceship on a cover, I'm not like, oh baby, like
hot for spaceships.
not nearly as much as.
What about space elves?
Yeah, baby. Now we're talking.
Okay, so World War I, World War II. I actually dislike this theme. Again, it fits into that boring category for me.
Right.
Like, I've been exposed to these things so much. Like, growing up in school, like, World War I, World War II is a big topic. Like, just lots of... And there's so many movies that cover this theme.
Right.
And again, I don't mean in a disrespectful way. I have respect for our history and for what was accomplished in those wars. It doesn't... And again, maybe that's it too. It's like, it doesn't feel... It feels heavy. And I just,
Right.
don't want to be there.
Yeah, mine says zombie apocalypse. I'll say dislike too. I don't really have too many zombie apocalypse games. Okay,
so it gives us... I'll pop it up on the screen here. Yeah, so it has you'll see a quadrant here where there's conflict at the top, and then strategy to the east, and then immersion to south, and then to the west is social fun. And we have these kind of percentages here. Your board game motivation profile: high conflict, strategic, and grounded. Your profile consists of your percentile rank across a broad range of gaming motivations. Your scores are based on how strong your motivations are relative to other gamers. In this customized report, we'll explain how to interpret these scores. Okay, so I guess I'm in the 73rd percentile for conflict, and 77th for strategy, and 57th for social fun, and 23 for immersion.
Wow. So I am high conflict, relaxed, immersed, and gregarious.
Gregarious!
That's right, gregarious. Yep, it's almost like there's a reason to the name or something.
Yeah.
So my strategy is only 27%.
Okay.
But my immersion is at 84%.
Wow.
So I like to be immersed into
Yeah.
a good gaming experience. And social fun is at 71 and conflict 68.
Okay, I think this captures us quite well. I think.
Yeah,
It's
it's
kinda
interesting.
Cool. So I'm gonna go here to board game recommendations. I think it's near the top. So let's see what we get here. Generating recommendations.
What is this? We provide 2 ways of finding games you may enjoy: game neighborhood method or game distance method.
Oh, this is funny. Okay, you can manage and fine-tune your recommendations by removing games you've already played and enjoy with a plus, as well as removing a game. Interesting. Okay, fun. So, my very first recommendation, it's alphabetical, I guess.
Nope.
Oh, no, it's not?
There should be a score beside it that's kind of like telling you, I guess, like how much that game is recommended to you.
Okay, so Abyss is highly recommended to me,
That's funny.
which is great. So we're going to hit a plus on that.
What was that number beside it?
4.3 or something.
Wow. So your games are like a lot stronger. Like the games it's recommended to me are like 2.3 and 1.3s.
Yeah, so then Architects of the West Kingdom is recommended to me at a 3.9. I haven't played that yet.
Okay.
Isle of Skye from Chieftain to King is recommended a 3.1. And I don't like that game.
Wow.
What's yours?
So my first game is a game I don't even know if I know. Chaos in the Old World.
Yeah, okay. That's an old Eric Lang game.
Okay.
It's like a dudes on a map situation.
Sure. All right. Sounds good. My next one is Stone Age.
Yeah!
Which I've played Stone Age. Enjoy it. Yep.
Yeah.
My next one is Cards Against Humanity, which I actively hate.
Okay, yeah.
And the next one's Munchkin, which I don't love.
Yeah, right.
You know, whatever. Then there's Small World. I really enjoy Small World.
Yeah.
Sheriff of Nottingham.
Yeah.
Another good game.
That's cool. So this is interesting to me because a good portion of the games it's recommending are kind of right on for me. Either I do like them or they're games that have been in my want to play for a long time. So Architects of the West Kingdom, Orleans, Champions of Midgard, Stone Age is one that I have played and I do enjoy. Patchwork, though, I don't like as much. Concordia, yes. I think they got me. Based on those recommendations, I am happy with how I have been categorized as a board gamer.
Mine says Star Wars Rebellion.
Nice!
It's an odd... what's it?
Well, because it's getting the theme piece, right? It's getting your immersion.
Then my games say Ulm, Bonfire, Seven Wonders Duel, Galaxy Trucker,
Oh, gosh.
Keyflower.
Keyflower? You just got recommended Keyflower?
I got recommended Keyflower.
Well, what percentage type were these now? These are...
They have like lower, but it's... I'm not really sure exactly. I think like gamer neighborhood would be like the types of gamers that you might want to play with. Whereas like the game distance is like the games that are like... Maybe, I'm not really sure.
Yeah, so I have Raiders of the North Sea, which I didn't love. I liked it. Shot and Totten, which has been on my list for a long time. Scythe, which has been on my list for a long time. St. Glass of Citra, I do really like. Clans of Caledonia was fine. Heaven and Ale, Quest for El Dorado, didn't love. Bora Bora, though.
You're going to teach me Euphoria, because it showed up on my list.
Yeah, sweet. I'll be happy to do that. Okay.
Fun.
Well, party people, check the link down in the description below, and you can do this survey yourself and find out kind of what kind of a gamer are you. Are you a high conflict, high strategy like me? Or are you gregarious?
An immersive, baby.
And immersive.
An immersive experience.
So let's find out what kind of gamer you are. Let us know down in the comments below. Have fun with us doing this. And if you would like this video, please like it. And subscribe to the channel. And be our friend. And talk to us a bunch. Until next time, party people.
Have the best day.
Yes!